Most people know the big stone building at Dearborn and Ontario as the Excalibur. The name's been around since 1989. But before that, it was the Limelight nightclub, and it was the place to be in the mid-'80s. A big August party will mark the 25th anniversary of the Limelight's opening. Sometimes writer Mike Thomas has a feature story Sunday about one of those old Chicago inn spots where you just had to be on the list. Welcome, Mike. Why did everybody hate this place? Everybody in Chicago hated the Limelight.
Well, I think initially they thought, hey, this is a big New York institution coming to roll over our scene here, barging their way in, you know, no apologies. They think they're better than we are, you know, and at opening night, there were a lot of people who couldn't get in, including media, and they started carping. You know, Bob Greene called it a place for pathetic people, and Bill Zaney, writing for Vanity Fair, called it the worst party of the year, so they helped sow the seeds of discontent.
Here are some pictures that we have in the files. It was always packed, wasn't it?
It was packed for years. It was only open for 3.5 years. And, you know, the people were clamoring to get in. It was a place for all kinds of people, and where they mixed people who would, you know, maybe not normally see each other in a social setting.
Did celebrities actually go?
They did go. They invited a lot of celebrities. A lot of rock stars played there. Celebrities would always come through when they were in town making films. You know, De Niro was there when he was filming The Untouchables. Rob Lowe was there. All kinds of rock stars and everything else. So yeah, it was the place to see and to be seen. And the VIP room was huge there. So that's where these guys hung out.
And it's a huge building called the Castle by most people, because it kind of looks like that, doesn't it?
It was. It was initially called the Castle. And it's got some history behind it. It's the original site of the Chicago Historical Society. You know, it was a place for a couple of nightclubs before Limelight opened. They never really took off. And some other institutions were there, but Limelight really re-injected some life into the place.
How decadent did it get in there?
Well, in the Chicago club, I get the sense that, you know, we're Midwesterners. The decadence wasn't really out in the open like it was supposed to be in New York. But, you know, one person I talked with said, you know, we could easily hold our own on a person-to-person basis with the New Yorkers.
I'm trying to remember being in there. I think at one time I was in there for some party or something, and I sort of lost track of what was happening in the building. Tell me about the demise and then what happened.
The demise of the Limelight itself? Mm-hmm. Well, it lasted from July 31st, 19...
Dennis
the Young.
Andy Warhol.
Opening night with Andy
Tony
Warhol.
Bennett,
and
yeah.
Tony Bennett. Yeah, he loved talking to Tony Bennett. He said Andy, he maybe said 8 words or 2. Danny Aiello, you know, and just coming off, I believe, the Purple Rose of Cairo there, and a couple other films. There's Dennis and his wife Suzanne.
So why didn't it work?
Well, it did work for a number of years, but I just think they kind of got burned out more quickly than they anticipated, and people were starting to imitate them on the Chicago scene, and they had opened a London Limelight by that time, and the New York Limelight was still open, and there were always rumors of bankruptcy, which they swore you know, weren't true, but ultimately in 1988, New Year's Eve, after Cab Calloway performed, the club shut down. About 10 months later, it reopened as Excalibur, which stands to this day.
And are they making a good run at it now?
They are making a good run at it. It's a different club. You know, I don't know financial information, but it's a sort of a playland. There's all kinds of lounges there. There's VIP rooms. There's clubs within clubs, and they redid the place extensively after Limelight left the scene.
The big objection 25 years ago was they were picking and choosing who got in, like in New York at the famous clubs there, right?
They were. That's what people got bent out of shape about, and I think that got overblown. They'd say, you know, you have the right look, come on in, and you know, people thought, well, we're not going to stand for that in Chicago. This is not New York, so you know, don't try that on us.
I took a little peek at your story Sunday, and this great picture of a young Michael Jordan checking out the club.
Oh yeah, apparently he would come there. You know, all kinds of sports stars were there, movie stars, rock stars. It was the place to hang, and with Mr. B.J. Murray, who was the head of the VIP room, he took care of them. Their mantra was hook 'em up.
Yeah, and he's got some stories to tell about some crazy stuff in there. Okay, Mike, you're not on the list to stay past 9:45 or so thank you.
Well, thank you.
And we'll check out your story. That's in the Sunday Sun-Times.
Appreciate it.
Robin?